The number 2 seed and the number 5 seed, Burnsville and St. Thomas Academy, battling at Braemar with a trip to St. Paul and the XL Energy Center at stake. Sam Ekstrom and John Mara with you on BCTV and Town Square Media. John, this is as good as it gets. Burnsville, St. Thomas Academy, what an atmosphere.
A trip to the state is what every kid dreams of. They got identical records. They both played strong so far in the sections. What a great matchup.
Burnsville with a pair of 5-1 wins to get here against Park and Egan. The Blaze are playing really good hockey right now, and with a senior-laden team, they have a chance to make some noise.
And this is a good chance for them to make hay at the end of the year. They're playing really well. Senior team, as you said, everybody's playing the role that the coach has set out for them, and it's working.
And St. Thomas Academy, they're the stalwart. They're the 3-time defending Section 3 AA champions. They played Burnsville back in 2018 and knocked them off in the semis. The last team to beat them in a section final was Burnsville 4 years ago.
And that was an epic matchup. I think we were both there for that one. 7-2 was it? 7-1.
Yep.
And St. Thomas came back 2 years later and reversed it on them.
A 9-2 win back in 2018. So tonight, something of a rubber match with Burnsville coming in 17-8-2. St. Thomas Academy 17-8-2 as well. But they got there in a roundabout way. They started their season 5-7-2, and in their last 13 games, John, 12-1.
And part of that, they have a new coach this year, and it's taken him a while to put his systems in. Now they seem to be executing it to a T.
The Vanelli brothers out, Trent Eigner in, coming over from Lakeville North to stand behind the bench. And on the other side, it's Steve Bolio in his second year. He has led a great Burnsville team this year, and I don't know if a lot of people expected them, John, to be a number 2 seed and get to this spot.
They have really improved over the year, and I think you got to give a lot of credit to the coach. The kids have bought into it, but they've been playing almost flawless the last 5 or 6 games.
We spoke to the coach, Steve Bolio, moments ago to get his thoughts on this game, his first section final as the Burnsville bench boss. First section final. How are you feeling right now?
Just excited. Really happy for the boys to get to this point, so we're ready to roll.
What do you like about the way you played in the first 2 playoff games to get here?
I really like our fast start last game. If we can get off to that same start tonight, and get the crowd kind of buzzing, I think that would be ideal.
You had 5 different goal scorers in each of those games. Do you like that complementary offense you're getting?
Absolutely. We've got some goals from guys that we haven't normally got production out of. So when that happens, that's great. And hopefully some of the guys that are usually scoring are also putting them away.
This is an epic arena here at Braemar. Is it helpful that you've played here already this year? That there's going to be no jitters with the noise and the atmosphere?
Yeah, it's not going to hurt.
What's the message before the game?
Just have fun, enjoy every minute out there, leave it all out in the ice, be a team, be there for each other, and get it done.
St. Thomas Academy's 12-1 in their last 13 games. What have you observed about them?
They seem to be coming on at the end of the year for sure. Not worried about it, but just ready.
All right, good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Steve Bolio of the Burnsville Blaze. They take on St. Thomas Academy next with a trip to state on the line. Cadets tonight at Braemar, normally the home of the Edina Hornets. 3 teams have punched their ticket to the XL Energy Center. Eden Prairie, Blake, and Moorhead have all reached their destination. Burnsville trying to get there as well. A series of section finals tonight. We'll try to keep tabs on those as the night goes along. Burnsville comes into this one winners of 3 consecutive. They knocked off the eventual number one seed Rosemount in their season finale, but then Rosemount was knocked off by St. Thomas Academy in the section semifinal. A big indication of how well they're playing.
Yeah, and it might also be an indication of, I think, maybe Rosemount running out of gas at the end of the season. They were so strong, top 5 team throughout the year. I was surprised when Burnsville beat them as bad as they did, but I guess in retrospect, St. Thomas had the same kind of game against them.
Let's get the starting lineups for Burnsville. Their top line, Cole Pearson, Cade Nielsen, and Grant Ashawn. They've gone with that group much of the year. Tompkins and Anderson at defense. The top line for St. Thomas Academy, they go with Jackson Hallam, Riley O'Brien, and Jared Wright, with starting defensemen Andrew Bamer and McLean Bodette, returning players from last year. Puck goes into the Burnsville end to get things started, and here come the Blaze with Joey Anderson in front of his bench. He lofts it off to the near side. That's played ahead into the corner, tracked down by Jackson Hallam, their leader in goals and assists. Punched along and shot on Tommy Aiken, the starting goaltender for the Cadets. Aiken, a first-year starter, wears the number 30. St. Thomas Academy lost 8 of their top 9 scorers from last year and both of their top 2 goaltenders. They had to reset, but they really did a great job of figuring it out mid-season. St. Thomas Academy has won 12 of 13 and 8 consecutive. They dump it in to the offensive end, and Burnsville trying to track it down and clear it out in front of the Burnsville students with the whiteout theme. Charlie Killian dumps it into the corner diagonally, pursued by Jordan Tompkins, the starting defenseman, who goes to Joey Anderson. The senior sends it all the way down ice for an icing just over a minute in.
And I think we're going to have some pretty spirited student involvement in this game already. The stands are packed, great atmosphere at a historic rink here, Braemar Arena.
Burnsville out of the South Suburban Conference, St. Thomas Academy from the Metro East. They took 4th after winning the conference each of the last 2 years. Hill Murray was the conference champion in the Metro East. It was Lakeville South in the South Suburban. Battled for in front of the Blaze students. Fought for and won by the Blaze, Casey Myers. He backhands it along, taken left wing. There's a shot caught by Aiken with the left circle drive by Corey Bell, second on the Blaze in scoring.
And what you'll see out of Bell is what you saw right there, a lot of speed and a lot of nose for the net.
Corey Bell and Cade Nielsen, the prolific scorers for the Blaze with 23 and 24 respectively. They're both red hot at the moment. Nielsen a junior, Bell a senior. And St. Thomas Academy winning that draw back to Charlie Killian, the captain, and move forward left wing. Tyler Graham sends one out, slot, shot on Whitko, and he makes his first save of the game. Evan Whitko, 16, 8, and 2 on the year.
And this does, I think, may come down to goaltending. 2 excellent goaltenders battling each other in the section final.
Whitko is senior, 2.39 goals against average. Aiken, a senior, 1.93. His goals against plunging below 2, picking up his first shutout of the year in the section quarters. Face-off won by the Cadets in the offensive end. Trickled into the corner. Burnsville scoops it up and emerges with it near side. Joe Faith bounces one opposite corner. Grabbing it is Andrew Bamer. Flushed it out to neutral, and an offside there. That'll bring the face-off out of the Cadets' end.
Both these teams match up. They play a similar style. Seems like the Blaze have ramped up their scoring lately, and they'll have to look for that to win this game.
Burnsville is narrowly outscoring St. Thomas Academy this year, 3.6 per game to 3.4 per game. Will Soderling dumped it in the corner and chases after it. Whitko shovels it along. Gathered in, goal line extended by Faith. Faith along the boards, flips it out to center. Bjorn Kylan picks it up and has it immediately stripped away by the Blaze and back out to neutral ice. Dylan Reed trickles it into the offensive zone. Kylan tracks it down for the Cadets. And here comes Andrew Bamer, the senior, with a giveaway. And a clean look wide of the net. Burnsville trying to strike early. That shot from Nielsen, their leading scorer. Bodette hauls it in at center. Tried to dump it in, had the dump in affected and taken by the Blaze. With the white tops and black breezers. There's Aiken playing the puck behind the net. Burnsville has it now with Zach Lamott working his way onto that top line. He'll cycle in and out. Lamott in the corner, checked by Killian. Centered out front by Ashawn. And it's intercepted by Riley O'Brien, one of two O'Briens on their roster. Whitco covering up the rolling puck. Just over 3 minutes gone.
One thing to look at for the Blaze, they've gotten a lot of good press for their socks. They got the Cooperall look, and the Twitterverse has gone crazy on that. But on a serious note, Blaze doing a good job in this case of getting back on defense and not allowing a potential 2-on-1 to happen.
Jackson Hallam will vie for this offensive zone face-off, right circle. It's won by the Blaze and banked to the near side. Grant Ashawn, the St. Cloud State commit, in he hopes not his final game to end the Ashawn legacy. His two brothers coming before him, Jack and Roman. Feed off the boards near side. That's kept in for a moment by the Cadets and then cleared by the Blaze out to center. Ashawn chasing after it, bumps into Statine, and back for Killian now. Killian goes side to side with Statine, and he'll angle to his left. Fired in deep by Statine for an icing, brings play to a stop once again. 13:05 to go in the first period. The last time these teams met, playoffs, 2018, a 9-2 St. Thomas Academy win. They led 6-0 after one period of that game.
And they outshot them 24-0 in that first period. If there was ever a statistic for total domination, that's pretty close.
Let's take a look at that, the playoff meetings between these two teams, and give you an idea. Two rivaling blowouts. 9-2 St. Thomas Academy, 7-1 Burnsville back in 2016 at Ritter. Cade Borchard, there's a name from the past, had a hat trick in all three of those section games. Burnsville was ousted in the section or the state quarters, and a big save by Aiken on the tip to deny the Blaze the first goal.
High tip from Corey Bell. That would have gone in. They might have had an argument that was tipped above the top of the net. Dangerous play nonetheless.
Another look. Burnsville doing some humming here early first period. Caught the right pad of Aiken. The officials are conferring now, and I believe they're ruling a high stick and bringing it out of the zone. Supercharged atmosphere here. There are some open seats in the corner, which I believe is reserved for students, but otherwise the sides are pretty well packed in like sardines. I'd estimate a couple thousand people here tonight standing along the railing above the bleachers. 0-0. Played by Nick Owens. Goes left wing, Kylan. With it is Soderling. Missed the net. Kylan tracks it down. In the corner, defended by Boats. He got checked. Boats cut him off. Burnsville tries to clear. And they will. Busting out of the defensive end. Here comes Dylan Reed. He'll coast into the corner. Hit by Connor O'Brien. Bjorn Kylan the other way. Separated from the puck. Scooped up at center by Killian, and Burnsville retreating with Casey Myers. Myers receives it back. 5 minutes played in the hockey game, and the puck goes into the stands. And we'll have a face-off at neutral ice, I believe.
Speaking of the stands, you mentioned the atmosphere here. I look around, I see a lot of Burnsville history in the stands, including ex-coach Mark Osiki, his ex-player Mark Osiki, his dad Tom Osiki. And of course, Mark Osiki is an assistant coach at Wisconsin, where Roman Ashawn is now starring as a forward there.
It's a who's who of hockey royalty. Burnsville winning titles in 85 and 86. St. Thomas Academy, 5 of them in the last 2 decades. Those all came at Class A. They do not have a title at the AA level, though they do have 4 state appearances in the 6 years at this level. That's held in the zone and a shot off a body by Jared Wright. Pursued by Riley O'Brien near the trapezoid area. Rims around to Bamer, held it in on the half wall and fired out of play. 11:17 to go in a bit of a disjointed start to this game. A lot of stoppages in the early going.
One of the keys for Burnsville in their last game was their strong start. Pumped in a couple of goals early, really took the wind out of the sails of a tough Egan team. Looking for that kind of start here today. Not quite there yet.
They were up 3-0 after 1 period in that game. St. Thomas Academy also had a fast start in their semi, up 2-0 after 1 period against the top seed Rosemount on the road. Burnsville got 2 home games to start as the number 2 seed. Backhand save by Aiken on the try from Corey Bell. And Aiken covers up. Aiken 13-6-2, his record 93%, a phenomenal save percentage.
I watched a replay of that St. Thomas Rosemount game, and the goals scored were primarily on rebounds. Hasn't given any up yet.
Draw 1, Bell, a blast, and it pumped out front for Holmstrom, scooped by Statine. Statine will float it in. Whitco mishandles it. Deverell trying to make a play to the puck. Sent out by the Blaze for an icing. Down to 10:45 to go in the first.
This rink does have some history, and BCTV has been here before. We were here in 2010 when the Blaze beat Jefferson, and Eddie Whitco was the star of that game with 2 goals.
And the Blaze were here earlier this season, January 25th. They played Edina here at Braemar, lost the game 4-1. St. Thomas Academy was also here. They lost 2-1, giving up the game-winning goal with 28 seconds left to the Hornets. Bouncing puck off of Nagel and into the corner. Blaze Holmstrom trying to clear it out. It's flexed aside, loose in the slot. And a big save by Whitco on the try from Graham. And applause coming from the Blaze students as the slot shot from Graham nearly found its way in the back of the net. Graham again, battling for puck possession against Friedman. Shoveled out half wall, Statine. Grappling in the corner, Tim Erlob right there. That's swept out along the half wall, past Bell, got it to Deverell. Deverell wraps it around the end boards and to the near corner. Nagel after Faith, it's Joe Faith. Looking for Bell, Faith picks it up and clears it to neutral ice. Burnsville in need of a change. Swatted along in front of the Cadets bench with Trent Eigner manning the helm for the Cadets. 9:40 to go in this scoreless first period. Not many shots on goal to speak of. Burnsville's best chance came courtesy of a high stick, so it would not have counted. Here comes Nielsen. Cade Nielsen. Slingshots and centers. Intended for Ashan, who's trying to dig it out on the end boards. 1 against 2, but Ashan holding his ground. His fellow number 3, Nick Owens, they're battling. The captain sends it toward the point. Picking it up is Will Soderling with 7 goals on the year. Soderling flies into the corner. Checked by Joey Anderson. Here comes Burnsville back the other way. 8 minutes gone in the hockey game. High slot shot over the net, taken by Nielsen and picked off now by Connor O'Brien. Up ahead to Soderling. He'll weave, try to go between the legs of a defenseman. Joey Anderson grabs it for Burnsville. Back for Jordan Tompkins, the senior defenseman. Grant Ashan shoved in the corner. Repossessed by the Cadets. Nearly given up, but Soderling keeps it in. And play comes to a halt just about at the halfway point of period number 1 in the glove of Whitco.
Blaze doing a good job of sticking to their defensive scheme. They had a couple opportunities where if a defenseman would have stepped up in the play, they might have had an opportunity, but against a team with the speed that St. Thomas has, staying at home was a good choice.
Burnsville wins it in their defensive end and chops it out to neutral ice. Now trying to use their speed. Tim Erlob, part of that second line, goes to Bell in front. Erlob and Bell work so well together, and they nearly connected. Hallam marked very well there by Glosson. There's a takedown of Hallam. We've had no penalties yet in this first period. There's Hallam, left wing around the circle, drop pass. Good job by Erlob to fight off the skater O'Brien. Burnsville with speed, rink wide pass, right side Bell. Bell tried to drag it past Beaudet, and he moved it to the opposite corner. Now Bamer fanned on the clearance, good forecheck by the Blaze. Bell worked it in deeper, picked up by Jackson Hallam. Hallam, one of the younger contributors, a junior on this team, goes rink wide. Got Statine up ahead and offside with Riley O'Brien too far in front. 7:29 to go in the first period.
Hallam put on a pretty good clinic of puck possession, being hounded by several Blaze in that last possession. He is definitely their most dangerous player.
St. Thomas Academy, led by Hallam with 18 goals. They distribute their scoring well, 92 goals on the year. This team started 5-7-2 with a tough front-loaded schedule. They end the season 12-1. They ice the puck there, but let's take a look at that 12-1 stretch here for St. Thomas Academy. Some numbers during that time. They've upped their goals per game average by almost 2 per game. 4.4 per contest over the last 13. They've scored 5 or more 8 different times and have only trailed going to the locker room twice.
It's a sign of a team that's playing exactly what their coach wants them to do.
Trent Eigner, their first-year coach, replacing Greg and Tom Vanelli, the two staples at this program who were together since 2003. Burnsville into the zone, goal line extended, that's flopped toward the middle, and a penalty coming against St. Thomas Academy, our first power play of the game for a cross-check.
Grant Deshawn open in the slot there. He hadn't been checked, he would have had a golden opportunity out front. Not necessarily that quote-unquote good penalty, but this will give the Blaze a chance on the power play.
And on that power play, Burnsville is 19% on the year. They have 16 power play goals. The Cadets are 83% on the kill. They've got 4 shorthanded goals on the year. Beaudet trying to clear, shoves down Erlob, and Erlob finds the puck, taps it over to Bell. Burnsville's got to space this thing now. Bell, they'll reset it up top. Burnsville gathering themselves in the zone. Early stages of the power play, a save by Aiken. Blocked off to Ashawn. He hauls the puck in, now back to the point. Anderson zings one, and it's tipped wide by Bell. Right back to Bell in front of the net, off the side of the cage, and covered up there by Aiken.
Disciplined penalty kill by St. Thomas. Hard forecheck until the Blaze have good control. Then they go back into their box and protect their goalie.
Burnsville does not have a power play goal in these playoffs in 8 tries, but they won both those games handily anyway by a combined 10-2 score. Bamer clears it ahead, and shorthanded Hallam. Hallam lost the puck off his stick before he could uncork it. Nielsen vacuums it up, and here comes Nielsen the other way. Drop for Anderson nearing the halfway point of the man advantage. 6 minutes left in the first. Sam Ekstrom, John Mara, BCTV, and Town Square Media. Hallam the clearance, and Whitco will settle it down.
The point in the penalty where this first line might be getting a little tired going up and down the rink.
Burnsville getting 7 power play goals from Nielsen, their 5-on-4 leader. Huge check by Soderholm. Blaze trying to keep along the half wall, and they do. There's Nielsen. Bell, Nielsen, the give and go. And Rauschenberger fought him off. 30 seconds left in the power play. Up top, Anderson shovels it off. It's taken away by Bamer and cleared. Take it away from Nielsen, and Burnsville will change.
Excellent opportunity out front there with the little give and go.
And on the forecheck now, Soderling drops it back to neutral. There's Bodette. 6 seconds left on the kill here for the Cadets. Looks like they're going to get the job done. Another steal at the blue line, and Burnsville drops to 0 for 1 on the power play in this game. Rink wide pass, Charlie Killian, who's been a red-hot goal scorer. Killian and Kylan have all of their goals, 6 for Killian and 6 for Kylan, during this 13-game stretch where they've gone 12-1. They've been good complementary scorers. 4.5 to go in this first period. Nothing. Right, shallow angle, and it winds up with Whitko.
Good sign of teamwork is balanced scoring. Blaze have been taking advantage of that so far in the playoffs themselves as well.
5 different scorers in each game. Against Egan, it was Boats, Reed, Erlob, Bell, and Nielsen. You got some usual suspects there, but also Boats picking up his 2nd of the year, Reed picking up his 3rd, some more unlikely scorers, providing a lift in that win over the Wildcats, who had beaten them fairly late in the season. Left point shot into traffic, never reached the net. Ricochets back out to Bamer, who backpedals and then fires it out to center. Still circling backward is Jared Wright. Got it to Bamer. Now Rauschenberger. Noah Rauschenberger, 3 goals on the year, off to Hallam with 18. He backhands it toward the slot and couldn't unfurl on the shot. Wright back up top. Rauschenberger, low shot. Follow-up try, hit a body. When we observed this Burnsville team in that big win against Rosemount, John, the one thing they excelled at, blocking shots. This team is fearless.
And that's a sign of a team that's, like the coach said, leaving it all on the ice. It hurts, but it's the right thing to do if you want to win. You'll see it more become more important in the playoffs.
Offside, St. Thomas Academy. Yeah, a senior-laden Burnsville group, 17 of them honored on Senior Day at Gary R. Harker Rink before that Rosemount game. Then they went out and had the performance of the year, perhaps, and they seem to have propelled themselves from that game to where they are now.
Yeah, it's senior ceremony so long there was an intermission, it seemed like.
They didn't have any signs of rust, however. There's Bodette. Out to center, good connection to Max Nagel, trying to scoot by Faith, and he does. Nagel goes corner to corner. The Blaze possess. Nielsen crunched against the boards. Nagel picks it up, hovering around the right dot. The Blaze gathering the puck, distributed off right wing. The Burnsville captain dumps it off the end boards. Around Pearson, unable to keep was Friedman at the point. Friedman chased at hard by Graham, moved it to Faith at the blue line. Faith dumped it in before he got hit. Final 3 minutes of play in this first period. Another good forecheck and a centering feed for Nielsen. He's got a Sean who circles it into the corner. Ashan weaving between Cadets, had his stick lifted. Ashan, a whirling dervish, goes to the corner for Bell. Blaze skating well, but can't find that perfect position to get a shot off on Aiken. Scoring chances have been tough to come by. Both defenses looking sharp as the puck winds up in the Cadet bench. These teams allow less than 2.5 goals per game, respectively.
I think that's one thing we see from our Grant Ashan is he did. A lot of good hockey players will play one play ahead of what's going on. He seems to have 2 or 3 plays ahead and plays those options, plays with his head up, and when presented with an obstacle, he's got a plan B to work with.
Ashan, 8 goals, 18 assists this year, missed a little bit of time. There's a centering pass, shot, save, Aiken. Bell made the bid, and Aiken with the cat-like reflexes to keep it out.
And Bell does what he does best, gets chance after chance after chance. It's one reason he's put in over 20 goals this year.
6 goals in his last 6 games. Bell went from 6 goals as a junior now to 23. Draw one back to the point. Bounced wide of Aiken. Anderson knuckled it off the back of the net. Now Bell tries to bring it out front, and Kylan takes it away. He'll sprint down the middle, distribute off to Soderling. Soderling, tough angle, slid in, and a rebound. Nearly coughed up by Whitko, but the whistle bails him out anyway. 1:48 to go in the period.
Definitely got the feeling that the first goal is going to be a greasy one. Both teams playing pretty tight defense, not giving up a lot of big rebounds and moving the puck.
St. Thomas Academy, the 5 seed in this section tournament, behind Eastview, who they beat 5-0, behind Rosemount, who they beat 3-1, and Egan and Burnsville ahead of them as well. At neutral ice, 100 seconds to go in the period. Board battle won by the Blaze. They'll dump and chase. Getting there first is Noah Rauschenberger, the senior defenseman. Banks it for Hallam. Jackson Hallam, part of their junior class. Andrew Bamer got it ahead to Jared Wright. Wright scurries into the corner. Drop pass for Hallam, who moved it to the point. Hallam circling around Blaze. Hallam on the backhand. Moves it back and fires. It's tipped into the corner. Puck rolling there. Nielsen tried to possess. Now given away. There's a shot by Wright in the slot. Cleared away by the Blaze. Cadets keep the zone. High slot Hallam goes right side. Shot in on Whitko, who covers it up in the breadbasket.
Yeah, there's a few times when the Blaze are out there. It looks like they desperately need a clear, but they're not just dumping the puck. They're trying to maintain possession.
And there's that contact with Wright and Tompkins. Tompkins, one of the more physical Blaze, loves to hit, part of that top defensive pairing.
It leads the team in penalty minutes. He gives you an honest day's effort. Plays like the football player he is.
A safety for Vince Vartness on the football team. You see a lot of football players appear on this St. Thomas Academy hockey team as well, and of course we know how good that program is at the 5A football level. 40 seconds to go in the first period. There's possession by Bodette, the returning defenseman. Still played around at center. Forechecking is Zach Lamott, offside.
No, they're going to get a penalty, holding penalty on Lamott.
Good call.
He tried to pull his hands off and look innocent, but he couldn't sell it.
St. Thomas Academy to the power play, where they are 21% on the year, 19 power play goals. The Blaze 88% on the kill. They've been phenomenal, in large part thanks to their shot blocking ability. They have 4 shorties on the year. 24 seconds to go in the period. Some of this could carry over if St. Thomas Academy does not score. Draw one by Soderling. Wrapped around to Killian. Along the half wall, he goes into the corner. Drop back for Soderling. He shovels it along. Half wall, Bamer. To the point, O'Brien. O'Brien walks in. Big save by the pad of Whitko, and that clears the puck with 3 seconds to go in the period, and that will bring the frame to an end. Minute 36 of power play time will extend to the second period, and we've got a good old-fashioned barnyard brawl here. It's a defensive battle, 0-0.
Well, they came in with an even record, and neither team has an advantage at this point, and we are setting ourselves up for a splendid second and third period.
When you have a moment, check out the City of Burnsville's YouTube channel at youtube.com/cityofburnsvillemn. There you will find Burnsville briefs, sports highlights, PSAs, Sustainability Man, our get-to-know features, and much more. Visit youtube.com/cityofburnsvillemn. Sam Ekstrom, John Mara at Braemar, 0-0. We'll pause during the first intermission here in the Section 3 AA Championship. 0-0 through 17 minutes of play, and these are the stats, and you can't get much more even than this. 12-11, Burnsville leading in shots on goal. 19-18, Burnsville leading in shot attempts. About as evenly matched as you can get through one period.
Yeah, and I think St. Thomas will probably even up those shots on this power play. Be interesting to see what kind of adjustments these teams may have made after having a little bit of time to talk about what they've seen. but not. It's probably going to be a game of not giving up that mistake.
A minute 36 of power play time remaining for St. Thomas Academy, their first power play attempt of the game. Last year, St. Thomas Academy, 25 game winners. They won the Metro East. They won 19 games in a row at one point. Section 3 AA champions, reached the state 2A semis for the first time ever before losing to the eventual champ Edina. They took fourth place, lost 12 seniors from that team, and I can't get over that fact, John, that they lost so much, 8 of their top 9 scorers, and yet here they are playing for another trip to state.
Well, if you look at St. Thomas's record over the last 10 years, there's only one year they haven't won at least 20 games. And that was the year Burnsville beat them out, 3-4 years ago. So they're a program of excellence. Even if they don't make it to the top, no matter what they lose, they're reloading. They never rebuild.
They're going for their 4th consecutive trip to the state tournament. Burnsville trying to get there for the first time since 2016, looking for their 10th appearance. St. Thomas Academy looking for their 13th appearance all time. And they have the puck now, moving from left to right here in the second period. On the power play to start things off, remember they are 21% on the man advantage this year. And in their previous playoff game against Rosemount, Riley O'Brien had a power play goal, one of their 3 goals in the game. Draw is played around at neutral with a minute 15 to go on this power play opportunity. Jackson Hallam stick handles, finds Max Nagel. Moves it into the corner. Hallam is their leading power play goal scorer with 3. He has the puck now, high slot. Hallam holds. They've got 4 up top, only 1 person in front of the net. And the puck exits the zone, drawing about the whistle. An interesting formation there we saw.
Yeah, and a very aggressive forecheck by Grant Ashan, forcing that turnover there off across the blue line. So that's an example of Eichner making a few adjustments on the power play.
Pumped in by the Cadets. They'll chase after it. Bjorn Kylan watches it go back to the point. Moving to it, Soderling. Soderling behind the net through the trapezoid, emerges on the left corner and passes to Bamer. High slot, there's O'Brien. Off to Hallam, missed the net, and it rims around far side. 30 seconds left in the power play. There's a shot by Killian, covered up. Evan Whitko makes the save.
Nice job by the Blaze, keep that puck on the perimeter and allow Whitko a good view of that shot coming in.
Whitko, 3 shutouts on the season, 91% in goal, and a good look for Charlie Killian, the captain. One of their returning players who contributed 3 goals a year ago, 6 this year, and Burnsville will clear the puck on the kill with 15 seconds to go. Cadets with one last rush. Kylan, left wing, Bamer. Rims it around quickly. That'll scoot to Soderling and back for Killian. Final seconds tick off of the Lamont penalty. Soderling back. Killian setting up a shot in the high slot. Blocked. Burnsville clears out of the box. It's Bell. Here's Bell. Save made, and he was actually off the bench, not out of the box. And he's denied by Aiken.
And that can happen when a power play ends. If you let the extra player behind you, disaster is waiting.
Corey Bell just has a knack for getting the breakaways. Just a matter of finishing them. Aiken with good movement from left to right to close the door.
Good work by O'Brien to put some kind of back check on.
Both teams 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Early stages, second period, full strength, icing on the Cadets.
You could probably see Tommy Aiken lobbying a little bit with the referees there on that last shorthanded opportunity. A little bit of body contact, and Jack Holstrom behind the net. He was looking for a little protection there.
Can't imagine these officials will call it too strictly in the section final, but we'll make sure it stays under control. Gathered at neutral ice by Boats. He'll dump it in diagonally and played in the trapezoid by the Cadets, given away to Erlob, and he gave it right back. Erlob nearly had a left dot shot. There was a deflection in, so no icing. Whitko rims it around the end glass, lofted in wide of Whitko. Myers watches it go along to Nagel. Myers strips it away. Devereaux picks it up for the Cadets. Into the corner it goes. Moved along. Good body positioning by Myers. Casey Myers. That one get back to Bodette. Along the half wall. Shot into a bunch of bodies. Nagel unable to gather it in. And the Cadets back to center ice. In front of the Blaze bench. Both teams 17-8-2 on the year. And offside there is Bamer across the line.
Graham a little anxious. He blew that play up a little bit.
Got some scores in from other section finals. Hastings right now upsetting Lakeville South 2-0 through one period. And Andover trying to stop the Cinderella run of Elk River Zimmerman, up 2-0 in that game, going for the girls-boys sweep of the titles.
And the Blaze are looking at a girls-boys appearance at least, which hasn't happened since 2007.
The only time that's ever happened. Here's Nielsen with some pace. Nielsen slides one past Pearson, who goes to the half wall. Shoveled out by the Cadets and tracked down nicely by Schurer. Or rather right, I should say. Hallam gets there. He's shoved by Anderson. Blaze pick up the puck. Forecheck by Hallam. But here comes Nielsen 2-on-2 with Pearson. Across the blue line. Nielsen knocked away by Statine. Toward the point, Ashan backhands it in and swiveled back to Ashan. Nearly turned over to Hallam. Hauled in by the Blaze back in their own end. Banked toward the point. Statine on the forecheck. 13-15 to go. Second period, no score. Swatted in by Killian. Got it to Wright. Wright got crunched. There's Statine helping him out. Dropped it back to the point. There's a shot into the body of Whitko, who holds it against his shoulder. That was a missile.
Evan Whitko squared up well to that shot. Hit him in an awkward spot, but he's in a good position. Go back to that 2007 experience. Little fun fact, both those teams, boys and girls, had to beat a Holy Angels squad to make it there. The girls were heavy underdogs. They won that game 1-0 with a 49-save shutout by Lindsey Mortensen. Just an epic performance.
13 years ago, when Burnsville beat St. Thomas Academy at Ritter 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago to the day on Tuesday, February the 25th, 2016. Shot well high off the end glass. Skitters over to Kylan. Down low, O'Brien. Up top, Rauschenberger. Point to point. Bounces off the boards. Nearly hauled in by Rohde. But the Cadets keep. Slapper score! Soderling gives the Cadets the lead.
Screenshot. At least 4 players in front of the net. Whitko couldn't quite pick it up. Nice shot right under the top bar. We'll see if that opens this game up a little bit.
8th of the year for Will Soderling. His 5th goal in the last 7 games. And the senior lights the lamp from the blue line. Our first goal of the hockey game goes to the 5 seed. And the Blaze will play from behind here in the middle period. Burnsville with it in their own end, trying to prevent a complete shift in the momentum. Up comes Boats. Boats across the blue line. We'll listen for the assists on the Soderling goal. Nick Owens picking up just his 2nd assist of the year.
And that was a shot. You could see the obvious frustration from Reed, who thought he probably should have had a piece of that out on the forecheck.
Huge windup from Soderling on that blast. Soderling has been a big reason why this team's been scoring the way they have. That secondary goal scoring's really picked up. Early on, they were leaning too much on their top line with Hallam and O'Brien. Graham banks it to the point. Back to Graham. Slams on the brakes. Chased after by Urlaub. Double team there. Blaze. Bring it out. Cleared ahead to Bell with speed. Corey Bell. A second breakaway denied. Aiken with 2 massive saves. And regrouping now are the Cadets in their own end. Corey Bell. Here he is with it again at center. Bell down the right side. Swings in. Drops it to Ashawn. Loose puck in the slot for Urlaub. Urlaub. Tompkins. Shot from the point. Knocked away into the corner. Urlaub watching Nagel. Nagel battles and brings it past the blue line. Delayed offside, but touted right back in. Shot by Urlaub, flexed aside by the blocker of Aiken. Ashawn in the corner. Burnsville reestablishing some zone time. Corey Bell slides it to the point, receives it back on the half wall. There's Bell. To the corner it goes for Ashawn. Up top. Shot zings wide, banks off the end boards in front of the Burnsville students. The Cadets will flip it up and out. They'll accept the icing and get a change.
First time in a while the Blaze have put on sustained pressure. Couple of excellent opportunities.
Here's that goal again from Soderling. Not touched. A lot of bodies in front. Top left quadrant.
And that shot that Bell had on Aitkins there bounced over his head, hit him on the side of the head, and fell off to the side. That's how close the Blaze were to tying this game up.
That was Soderling's second goal of these playoffs. Just over 10 minutes to go in the second period. Big check in front of the Blaze students who love it. Cadets exit the zone. Tompkins will flip it back to center ice. Regained by Hallam, who's offside. Wright was in too early. Burnsville this season, when tied after one period, was 3-3-1. The Cadets were 4-4-2. When tied after one, they've got the lead here. And the second period has been the most lucrative for both of these teams. The Cadets have doubled their opponent's scoring margin in the second period, 38-19 coming into play. Poked away there by Anderson, and Burnsville leading opponents 32-20 in the second period, their largest margin. Puck in the netting with 9:39 on the clock.
Boy, the Cadets at times look like they're on a power play sometimes when they possess that puck and throw it around the side.
Change here for Burnsville. On the day of the state championship, March 7th, 10 a.m., here at Braemar, a Coach Ike statue dedication. Meet Coach Willard Eichela and his family, artist Nicholas Ligueros, as they come together to honor Minnesota hockey. Should be a great event. There's boats out to the point. O'Brien unable to catch it. Kylan settles it down for the Cadets.
Of course, Willard Eichela is just quite a history in this sport, as being a top-notch high school goalie himself. I believe at Eveleth, came down here and coached many state tournament teams. His houndstooth hat as a trademark. Total class act.
There's a blast from the point. Puck skitters off to Soderling. There was contact behind the play. No call. There was a Cadet slow to get up. That was Killian, who gets to the bench, and now Kylan wraps it off the end boards. To the near side it comes for Boats. He absorbed a check. These Cadets have always been very physical as a hockey team. O'Brien centers. What a save by Whitko. Burdette on the back door. Still 1-0. Off the side of the cage, it bounces to O'Brien. He's pinned against the glass. Boats past Bell, now to center. Past the halfway point of the second. Saucered off the end glass.
Bodette was all alone out front. Somebody blew a responsibility there. Great save by Whitko.
A clutch save He's given up just 1 goal in each of the first 2 section games. He's trying to keep it at that. To the corner, Burnsville goes. Looking for possession. In the corner, it's Nagel. Board battle with Rohde and Glosson. Cadets emerge in the corner. Angled to neutral ice. Swatted on by Graham. Here's Nagel. Makes a nice move to the middle, but getting past Faith was not enough. He lost the puck en route. To the point. Now Bamer slings one. Deflected in front of Whitko, who lost it for a second, but it floated wide. Rauschenberger spins one up top. A drive from the high slot where Soderling scored the goal. Blocked aside. Moved again to the middle. Cadets gaining confidence now in the offensive zone. Good stretch of uninterrupted play. 7:10 to go in the second. Bamer bounces in on Whitko, and he'll glove it. Graham getting shoved out of the way. About 10 minutes gone here in the second period. We've been playing for an hour, just 1 goal to St. Thomas Academy.
St. Thomas seems to have figured something out against this Burnsville squad to be able to possess the puck and move it around the way they have. They seem to have 3 guys high and are able to maintain possession for quite some period.
Both these teams seem to be going about 3 lines deep in that third line, not playing all that much. Wright in the corner, took the contact. Nearly a block by Ashan, who tumbled down. Wright grabbed it, checked by Nielsen. Anderson trying to pry it free. Hallam lost it for Ashan. Ran to Sean. Wing to wing, intercepted and pumped right back in by Rauschenberger. Whitko slips it out. Ashan battling with O'Brien. Anderson passes to Ashan, flanked by Pearson off his skates and past center ice where Ashan got right there. He's fought off the puck, swung out, trying to get a breakaway is Wright. He slams on the brakes in the corner. Helped out by Riley O'Brien. Cade Nielsen slingshots around the cage. Big check by Tompkins behind the play. There's Nielsen with the drop. Pearson, Ashan, fires. Knocked down, winds up in the corner. 6 minutes left in the period, and the puck flops out to center with some speed. Jackson Hallam to the middle. Dropped, and then I think he blocked the shot of his teammate. The penalties coming against Burnsville. This game getting physical, and the Cadets to the power play.
And I don't know if they call the second penalty right at the end of that play as well. Yeah, definitely the physical play has ticked up. And they might be throwing 2 blaze in the box.
Oh my. Tompkins. And Urlaub. 5 on 3.
Boy, you look up the definition of adversity in the lineup. It's going to look a lot like this. I'm sure Coach Bolio wants an explanation, but I could see that second penalty. I kind of surprised they called it, but it definitely did look like it.
And that sets up a pivotal point in this game. Not only going 5 on 3 down, but 2 key players in the box. Urlaub, who had a shorthanded goal this year, and Tompkins, that physical player. There's the second penalty from Urlaub. So Nielsen on the ice with Boats. And trying to get the other defenseman's identity. There's a board battle. Hallam takes it. It is Myers on the ice. Boats will set up in front. Myers and Nielsen playing toward the top. There's a shot, goal line extended. Back for Bamer, playing catch, far side, out in front. One-timer by O'Brien. It's off the end glass and goes up top to Bamer. Bamer scoots in. Hallam intended on that pass, and Boats will clear.
Nielsen back for a change. Boy, you can't pack it in much tighter than that. They had that down to about a 15-foot radius around.
Ashan now trying to forecheck it. Hallam brings it in. Offside. That helps Burnsville a little. Minute 21 to go in the 5 on 3.
big task to kill these two, but if you do, that could be a potential momentum changer.
The 7th straight appearance for the Cadets in this 3AA final. They're used to being here. Despite being the 5 seed, they've shown poise throughout this tournament, leading 1-0, trying to tack on another. Soderling, who scored the go-ahead goal, brings it into the zone. Pumps the brakes and brings it toward the top. Nagel moves it around Killian. Nagel, Kylan centers, save Whitko into the netting using the blocker. 55 seconds left on the penalties.
Nice work by Whitko. He could see that play developing, and that pass went over the middle, and he got big in front.
They're trying to center the puck by using that tic-tac-toe passing. Graham with the one-timer, and Whitko. They need him now more than ever.
Well, they always say your best penalty killer is your goaltender. It's especially important when you're down 2.
Nielsen against Soderling. Draw 1 to Kylan of the Cadets. Anderson, Nielsen, and Boats on the ice. Right circle, shot, covered up by Whitko. And Anderson with words for Soderling.
Soderling's poking the bear there, looking for trouble. Anderson's got the fuse you'd want to light if you wanted to set somebody off. Plays with a lot of passion.
Anderson, a great defenseman for this Burnsville team. 7 goals, 23 assists, and a good demeanor. 40 seconds left on the power play. Blaze have killed 2/3 of it. Left point shot. Kylan follows up, missed the cage. Soderling, contested by Nielsen. Goal line extended. Soderling, up top. Killian, Nagel, right dot. Kylan, middle, wide, and then shoveled in front by Soderling, knocked aside by Nielsen. That was close. Nagel again. Moved it up top, Killian. He'll fling one, deflected, wide left. 10 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Whitko, scramble for the puck. It's loose around Graham. Penalty on St. Thomas Academy.
A lot of heavy lifting done by Cade Nielsen there, saving a goal on the side of the net, and then on that breakout there, we had some daylight in front of him, got tripped to.
Tyler Graham to the box. 4 seconds now of a 4-on-3, and then Burnsville will get the 5-on-4 for about the full 2 minutes.
And St. Thomas is going to have to be a little careful here. A couple of Blaze are going to come out of that box unaccounted for.
Nielsen wins, keeps, and shoots it over the net. It's 5-on-4. Erlob joins the fray. Tompkins to the bench. Erlob picks up the puck at the point. Drop back for Anderson. Look out. 2-on-2. Here come the Cadets shorthanded. Hallam makes the move. Wright picked it up. And Wright brings it back up top. Here's Hallam trying to center. Puck deflected near Beaudet along the end boards. Here's Hallam again shorthanded. Circling, shooting, and Whitko the save. Kicked into the corner. Now the Blaze can reset. 4 shorthanded goals this year for the Cadets. Made a bid there. Here's Nielsen. Stick handling between Cadets. Nielsen all the way in. Nielsen put it on net. And Bell picks it up back to Erlob. Minute 10 to go, power play. Burnsville on the half wall. In the corner. They navigate it back to the point for Anderson. Slings one, deflected by Bell. Knocked aside by Aiken. Beaudet will clear it under a minute to go in the 5-on-4.
Boy, you saw Nielsen almost take it all the way down there. Conventional wisdom on a power play usually seems to be set it up, but scoring on the rush is a fine strategy as well.
Intercepted at center ice, and another potential break. Shot wide by Nagel. Ashan with 30 seconds to go in the power play. Burnsville has 16 power play goals this season, none in the playoffs. Dumped in by Ashan. Played by Aiken. Slings it around. Nielsen keeps it there and loses it. Back down for Whitko. 2 minutes left in the period. Blaze stem the tide, trying to take advantage of this power play that hasn't really developed. 5 seconds left now as the Cadets kill it off. Both teams 0 for 2 on the power play this game. Anderson against the forecheck of Kylan. Pressing Myers against the glass. Glosson was there. Chased down by Rohde and Anderson. Anderson up ahead to Bell. Kicked it back and left the puck behind. Kylan fired it into the corner. Less than 90 seconds to go in the period. 1-0 Cadets on the Soderling goal. Anderson flings it toward the point and out. Bell trying to get the break. Played though by Bamer. Here's Myers setting up the attack. Nice pass to Holmstrom, left wing. Holmstrom flips one off the end glass, too high. Rohde got there. Moves past the official against Bamer in the corner. Kylan into the corner against Holmstrom. Holmstrom in a board battle, 1 against 2. Beaudet picks it up behind his cage. Final minute of play, second period. Soderling flings it into the corner. Glosson will grab it. Jaden Glosson on for Boats. Holmstrom now. Angles a pass to Rohde. Swats it along off Glosson. Loose for Bamer and back for Beaudet. Half a minute to play. Here come the Cadets with Hallam. Right wing Hallam dropped it for Ashan. A breakaway for the Blaze, but he's caught up to. That got the crowd on its feet. Ashan circles it down low for Urlaub, centering. Loose puck crease. Holmstrom right there, and Aiken covers up.
Boy, that's one thing about this viewpoint here. When a play like that happens, you just see everybody rise up. And who's more exciting with the puck in the open ice than Grant Ashan? 3 back checkers took care of him, though.
They've really been focusing on Ashan this game. Corey Bell got loose twice on the breakaway in this period, could not score. A big difference in this game. 12 seconds left in the period. Draw 1. Ashan over to Urlaub. There's Hallam clearing it out to neutral, and a whistle.
He hit somebody on the bench.
5.4 seconds left, and this will likely bring about a neutral zone draw and probably the end of the period. Tightly contested hockey game. Soderling scores the lone goal midway through the period. Cadets lead it 1-0 with 1 period to go.
Great matchup. St. Thomas had the one good shot. Other than that, it's even Steven. Be looking for adjustments in that third period. This is not far off from where you want to be, this close to going to state. You got to win this last period.
Should be thrilling. Third period coming up. It's the Section 3 AA Championship on BCTV and Town Square Media. Second period highlights here at Braemar. Sam Ekstrom and John Mira with you on BCTV and Town Square Media. It's 1-0 St. Thomas Academy. And their lone goal came from Will Soderling. We'll get a look at it here in a moment. St. Thomas Academy leading in shots on goal, 23-18, and in shot attempts, 46-35. Let's get to those second period highlights.
And the discrepancy of those shots was indicative of how strong a period St. Thomas Academy had after that even first period.
27-17 in shot attempts in that second period alone. But the Blaze had chances as well. They had 2 breakaways from Corey Bell. And Tommy Aiken, perfect, 18 for 18 and saved so far. He logged his first shutout of the year in these playoffs, looking for number 2. It was an exciting second period in Burnsville. Critically, John, killing off that 5-on-3 power play to keep this thing within reach.
That would have been devastating for them. St. Thomas could have rung up a couple of goals and really kind of taken all the life out of the Blaze. This gave them a little new life coming back.
There's the goal. Will Soderling's 8th of the year, his 5th in 7 games, to give the Cadets a 1-0 lead. 17 minutes left That's all that separates one of these teams from a trip to St. Paul, or maybe extra hockey. Last night there was an overtime penalty shot to win the section for Blake against their foe, Benilde St. Margaret's.
Yeah, that was a heck of a game. I saw the replay of that penalty, and I think the Benilde coach was a little upset with the call, but I could see where he could call it. The defender didn't have his stick, so he just grabbed the guy and pulled him down. But penalty shot with a trip to state, well, and he made it count.
Can't get more dramatic than that. We'll step aside and then rejoin you for third period action at Braemar, the Section 3 AA Championship. One nothing Cadets. 34 minutes gone, 17 to go. Burnsville this season, a pair of third period comebacks early in the year. They were down 2-1 after 2 periods against Egan, scored 3 unanswered goals to win that game. They were down 3-1 against Lakeville North, scored 3 unanswered goals to win that game in overtime. The Cadets have only lost once this year when leading after 2 periods, a blown lead against Hill Murray, the only loss in their last 13 games. This is going to be a period, John, where the Cadets are going to face everything Burnsville can throw at them, you have to think.
I'm pretty sure the message in the locker room was try to win every battle. We got nothing left in the tank at the end of the day. Play smart, but give it your all.
And staying full strength, playing smart, making sure they're not shorthanded. You go shorthanded, you lose 2 minutes, maybe you give up a goal. Burnsville's got to play disciplined hockey here in this third period.
And this team all throughout the year has played really well as a team and maybe made up for a talent deficit in some areas by playing great team hockey. And again, I think in this case, I think I saw a little bit in that second period they were losing some of those battles for the pucks, and they've got the ability in them to win those battles, and that's what it'll take this period.
It helps Burnsville that they can really go 2 lines deep and feel confident about what they're putting on the ice from an offensive standpoint. I mean, you've got the explosive Nielsen on that top line, Bell on that second line. Those two provide a lightning strike potential at any point.
I think they've got 2 premier scorers on each of those top 2 lines, and that third line really does do a good job of playing defense. And they can even roll a 4th line out there if they need to.
2 coaches fairly new in their positions, heading into the third period of a section final. Let's take a look at the bio on Trent Eigner, the new St. Thomas Academy coach. He inherited a lot, big shoes to fill, I should say. Greg and Tom Benelli here for over 15 years, and Eigner leaves Lakeville North to take this job, which is such a well-respected job. He won a title with that perfect season in 2015. And you got to credit him for what he's done with this group that's fairly inexperienced.
There was a lot of noise when Eigner came in, and I think there was some skepticism on how well he'd perform. I bet you the noise got pretty loud earlier in the year, but he has really made this team into a good functioning unit. And of course, when you put up 31 wins in a year, that really proves your coaching chops.
Last year, St. Thomas Academy, 25 game winners. The year before that, 27. So there's an expectation to win at this program, trying to get to their 13th state tournament if they can hold on here in this third period, but a long ways to go. Burnsville attacks from left to right now across your screens, and they move into the offensive zone. For the first time this period, the drop pass winds up back at center. Riley O'Brien takes it, flips it wide right. Jared Wright, one-timer, winds up on the end boards. Ashawn digs it out of the corner, taps it ahead to Nielsen. They fan out now as Nielsen goes left wing side, chases after it himself. Lamont tried to center, didn't get much on the pass, and Bamer flipped it out, kept in by the Blaze, and Baudet gets the job done. Angling a pass now down the middle. Hallam shoots up high off the end boards and falling down. Breakaway denied. A big stop early here in the third period for Burnsville.
And that's just the kind of opportunity you do not want to give up.
O'Brien, high slot, right dot, right, lost it. Shot off a Blaze body into the near side wall. Sent ahead to center. There's Nielsen bouncing it in toward Aiken, who sticks it down. Statine, long outlet pass. Will deflect into the corner. No icing. O'Brien gets off, and Burnsville brings the puck in. Passed ahead to Holmstrom. That will be an icing with 15:33 to go in the game.
And we'll probably see a steady run of the top two lines coming out here, perhaps for both teams with everything on the line here.
There's that chance for Hallam. Right arm of Whitko making that stop. Will Soderling, the only goal in the hockey game. And a lot of these section finals tonight have been tightly contested. This one's 1-0. The 1AA final is 2-0. The 5AA final is 2-0 through 2 periods. Only that Andover Elk River Zimmerman game has opened up 7-0. Top-seeded Andover. Number 1 team in the state, arguably. High slot, moved in by Nagel and blocked. That is going to be iced, almost on net. Aiken watches it go by the cage, and that'll come back into the Burnsville zone.
Of course, last weekend, the Burnsville girls were in the state tournament. Had a tough draw against Edina. They put up a good fight, but lost that battle. Edina going for 4 in a row, thwarted by Andover in a very exciting game.
Late third period goal by Andover added an empty netter for the 5-3 win. Burnsville lost by a goal in their consolation semi. Blocks by Whitko, and now the Blaze outletting. Lines up with Bamer, backpedaling into his own end. Rauschenberger, the defenseman, off the end boards, banks to Bamer. Moved ahead off the skate of the official, who steps up onto the St. Thomas Academy bench. There's a shot by Kylan, glove saved by Whitko.
Confident glove there of Evan Whitko. And going back to that Andover winning the girls' championship, they had to get by a tough Minnetonka squad, which went ahead late in their game, torched coast by Tracy Casano, and with just a very late third period goal to tie it up, and then 18 seconds into overtime, Andover wins it, breaking the hearts of the Casanos, but they've got a bright future in Minnetonka.
There was an outside chance of Casano facing her old team in Burnsville in that girls' tournament. Had a good chat with her before that tournament took place. And you get a feeling Minnetonka will be back under her leadership. Beaudet picks it up for the Cadets. Behind the net, stripped away by Pearson, but Beaudet keeps with it and swings it back around Killian for Connor O'Brien. Angles it down, and icing intended there for Soderling. And again, a disjointed start to this third period, and I think St. Thomas Academy's okay with that if that keeps shrinking the game.
Yeah, it's not time to panic for the Blaze yet. It's a 1-goal game. They just need to play their game. You could kind of see they were trying to sneak Cole Pearson out there on the back end and just missed on a long lead pass.
Erlob against Hallam. Erlob wins the draw at the point, looking for a tip. It's knocked down cleanly by Riley O'Brien. Hallam moves ahead, got right part of that top line. Back to the point. There's a shot wide from Killian. Pursued by Tompkins, flips it up over his head, and Anderson brings it down. Joey Anderson to Erlob. Wrapped into the corner. Aiken surveys the ice, rims it around to neutral. Now Saucered back in diagonally, where it's taken by Killian. His distribution found its way to Riley O'Brien. Angles a pass right wing, now back to the left for Hallam. Hallam dangles it too far into the corner. Beaudet back for Hallam. Hallam shoots off the half wall. Goal line extended now. A center didn't reach Hallam, who would have had a yawning net. And a whistle blows with 13-14 remaining.
And of course, this game is a winner of this game goes to the state tournament. Last time the Blaze were there after beating St. Thomas, they had a very good showing in the all hockey hair tournament. And St. Thomas never registers on the dial for all hockey hair.
Yeah, Bolio was joking that some of the guys before that Rosemount game had really started to grow them out. Burnsville hoping to have a shot for the hockey hair. March 5th would be the state quarterfinal. Moving into the zone, Nielsen back to a Sean. Nielsen one-timed it back along the half wall, and Bamer out toward the point. Bamer battling, still hacking at it. Puck in the air. Graham knocked it down. Fierce board battle. Every possession so important. Nagel sent it off the back of the cage. Nielsen pestering. Rimmed along to Deverell. Kept in by Burnsville. Rauschenberger there. Rauschenberger flips it off the glass, around past Graham. Again, Burnsville with the keep. But they can't establish the zone. Passed by Lamont. And now the Cadets have clearance. 12:15 to go in this third period. Blaze down one. Nagel onside at the line, stripped away. Burnsville reels it in with Myers. Myers weaves, taken by Kylan. Kylan tried to bat it off right side. Blocked down. O'Brien into the corner. Now to Killian at the point. Shoots one off the end boards. Banks off into the corner. Again, banked to the near side again. Killian in front of the Blaze fans. Ashan. And they come down right wing. Big check in front of the penalty boxes. No penalties here in the third period. Both teams 0 for 2 on the power play. Kylan. Killian. And back past Kylan. It is kept at the line. Rhodey looking to keep it in. Kylan brings it out, moves it ahead to Connor O'Brien. Into the near corner. About 6 minutes played here in this third period. A Burnsville icing. Unable to get much against this stern St. Thomas Academy defense.
There's no doubt there's a skill level and a talent on St. Thomas that's going to get them to this finals game and beyond every year. Blaze haven't been there for a while, and they're a senior-laden team. You'd have to think they know they're not going to be there next year, those seniors, and the urgency level for them to win every battle will be there.
This senior class has meant so much to this Burnsville team this season. Trying to will their way to an equalizer. Moved ahead to right. Right goes wing to wing with O'Brien. He uncorks one wide. Into the corner, right tracks it down. Back to O'Brien behind. Top line on the ice for the Cadets. O'Brien coughed it up to Anderson. He distributes left side. Corey Bell is knocked off his skates. Winds up with Bodette. The drop for Hallam. Aggressive forecheck by Erlob. Burnsville winds up back with it at center. Holmstrom watches Erlob take it. Erlob shuffled it off. Here's Bell to the backhand. Had his stick lifted. Bell along the wall. To the point. A blast! Blocked into the netting. The shot came from Tompkins.
Blaze looking for that open shot. Not taking the easy one. Got a good opportunity there. Playing a strong game. As long as they play in their game, you got to like their chances.
10-10 left.
Clean game, couple of penalties, but not many, and not any dirty plays. The boys are playing hockey.
This is far from the 9-2 St. Thomas Academy win 2 years ago. It's far from the 7-1 Burnsville win 4 years ago. St. Thomas Academy has won 2 consecutive games between these teams, including a regular season game 2 years ago, by a 3-0 score. Killian a blast. Whitko the catch. Under 10 to play.
Evan Whitko has stopped everything he's been able to see so far.
Tightly contested. Burnsville's played 1-0 game this year. They lost it against Champlain Park. 3 shutouts this year for St. Thomas Academy, and they have not been shut out, and that will continue. 2-line pass. Chasing after it is Ashan. That's the guy you expect to make a big play. Ashan with hard work got him possession. Pearson now down low again for Ashan. Rauschenberger pins him in. Burnsville trying to crowbar it free with Nielsen. Nielsen circles, brings it out front. His stick was lifted. Nagel to the wall. Now Faith out of the zone. Right back in. Burnsville will change.
Good pressure by the Blaze. Stalwart defense, though, by the Cadets.
There's a one-timer wide coming from Kylan. Over to O'Brien. Soderling, goal line extended, will revolve around the cage. Soderling emerges, turns, and shoots off a body. And Burnsville will bank it off glass. Trickling puck, no icing. Soderling now trying to swing around Aiken, comes back the other way. Dished it off to Kylan. Bamer halfway through the third period. Long outlet pass for O'Brien. He couldn't handle it. Might take a great individual effort here for Burnsville to tie the game. Whitko shovels it off. Holmstrom paddles it along. Soderling hammers it in. Flexed aside by Whitko. Flops in front of him. Nobody there for the rebound. Holmstrom, the second liner. And back for Myers. Myers backpedaling, banking ahead. It's Bamer. Killian in his end. That's tipped at center. Cadets get some new bodies on the ice. Whitko hammers it around. There's Deverell going to Killian. A slap shot, end glass clinked. And Wright will keep it in the zone. Puck lost for Erlob. Trying to get up ice with it. Erlob onside. Erlob down the middle. Bell. And a save by Aiken. Right back in front, Bell, nobody was there, but it is kept at the point. Saucered in, a Sean behind, goalie out of the net, and a block outside of the crease. A whistle blows.
The net's off the moorings.
Hallam had the potential saving play defensively. Burnsville comes close with Aiken out of the net. All Ashawn needed to do was sort of center that puck right there. He just couldn't get it past Hallam and Killian. $7:19 to go. Swept back into the corner. Nielsen sped to it. Cade Nielsen. Hallam knocks it away to the corner. Nielsen gets it back. And that winds up beyond the blue line. Fired in, touched by Aiken to Killian. Past the glove of Nielsen. O'Brien secures it, moves it right wing. Here's Wright. Wright left corner, gave it away in the point pass. Burnsville in transition. Low shot off of Aiken. Burnsville upping the pressure. Centered, and they couldn't get it to Lamont, who's on the ice right now. Nearly a takedown there. Some gasps. Looking for a penalty. Not called. Hallam dangles it now behind the net. Hallam wraps it around. Slammed at, and Whitko says no. Lamont sending O'Brien down to his backside.
Little vigilante justice there by the defense on anybody touching your goalie. They're not going to call anything for this.
Don't forget, folks, to order a DVD copy of this game or any program produced by Burnsville Community Television. You can do that by simply going to burnsville.tv or calling 952-641-1355. Burnsville.tv or 952-641-1355.
Boy, you just got to be impressed with how St. Thomas just keeps coming at you.
They've been relentless and so physical, so tough defensively, and very disciplined, never leaving their lane. Holmstrom paddles it out to neutral. Just over 6 minutes left in the Section 3 AA final. Nagel sprinting to it, drop for Deverell, shoots one, blocked. Deverell got it back against Boats. Goal line extended. There's a grapple for it. Graham unable to handle it. Now down the middle, it's Bell. Corey Bell swiftly to the wall. Nagel hacked at it. Bell couldn't catch. And now Myers, last line of defense for Burnsville, picks it up. 5:35 to go. Deflected in. Holmstrom forechecking aggressively against Bamer. Leaping for that catch was Erlob. Couldn't get there, but it's an icing, so that'll work out. Bring it into the Cadets' end. 5:26 left.
One thing Jack Holmstrom brings to the game is a lot of physicality. Junior forward, scored 10 points on the year, but he adds an element to the game that this team doesn't necessarily have in a number of other players.
Somebody trying to score the heroic goal for Burnsville. Cadets, bad memories in this building from earlier this season. They lost 2-1 on a late third period goal against the Hornets. Board battle in the corner. Rauschenberger against Nielsen, and it's ahead to Soderling. Killian looks up ice. Kylan tips it in off the end boards. Tracked down by Tompkins against O'Brien. Rimmed around, left wing, Burnsville's puck, 5 minutes left. Nielsen, good move to the corner. Nielsen tipped off of Aiken. The tip by Ashan. Kylan will presumably ice it unless they wave it off. They do not, it's an icing. Getting down to crunch time, John, 4:50.
Yeah, and I expect we'll see a timeout pretty soon. The top players for the Blaze are probably getting tired.
Burnsville.
The Burnsville home team, as the higher seed, gets the last change. Wait until the last minute to change those players.
The draw won by the Blaze. Shot from the point. Skitters wide. Tompkins racing to it, getting there first. Rimmed it around past Holmstrom. O'Brien picks it up. It is cleared. And down there for Tompkins. In front of the boxes. Pumped in by Holmstrom. Aiken there to pick it up. Bamer flutters it out to center. Bouncing puck. Handled by Anderson. Erlob in front of the Cadets bench. Banks it into the corner. And Aiken settles it down for the Cadets. Aggressive forecheck again. Burnsville gets the puck back. Centered for Erlob. Back to the point. Rister blocked by Wright. And out for Anderson at the red line. Erlob distributes left wing. Good move down the middle. Bell left it behind in traffic, and Hallam now emerging. Flanked by O'Brien. Hallam upended by Anderson. Erlob across the blue line. Puck taken by the Cadets, but back to Erlob. He's onside. Erlob shuffles it off. Left point. Bell on the doorstep, and the puck never reached him. Ashan. Burnsville from point to point. Anderson angles a pass. It's deflected into the corner. 3:30 to go. Somebody without a stick. Hallam battles with Ashan. The future SCSU commit. There's Ashan swinging it around Graham. He'll send it high and clear with 3:14 and counting. No icing. Anderson out to Ashan. Thrilling hockey here in the third period. 1-0 Cadets. Nielsen on net. Aiken gloves it.
Precious face-off in the offensive zone for the Blaze. 3 minutes left.
Offensive zone draw, no timeout yet. Goalie Whitko still in net. 1-0 St. Thomas Academy. Aiming for their 4th consecutive section title. Myers back to get it. Toward Ashan and pumped in deep again. Boats picking it up for the Blaze. Reversing direction. Grant Ashan. Wing to wing. Glosson across the blue line. Drop pass. Ashan flexed aside by Aiken. Gathered in. Myers looking for Nielsen. Dumped in the corner. Nagel to the point. Good keep. Right back toward the net. Off the end boards. But Bamer's all alone. Bamer trying to tip it out. But Glosson touts it to the corner with 2:20 to go. Ashan picks it up. Sends it toward Aiken. Now banked off left point. There's a shot toward the net. Deflected on Aiken. He flexes it aside. Nagel toward the wall. Slammed out by Graham for an icing just over 2 minutes. And at some point, Burnsville may have to contemplate pulling Whitko.
What a game.
And no trouble applying the pressure here for Burnsville. It's not like they're struggling to get zone time.
Here comes that timeout.
Steve Bolio, second-year coach, taking over for the veteran Yanni Kivihalmi. Kivihalmi coaching a section final tonight, was down by 2 in the third. Bolio down by 1 here late in the third. He came up as an assistant coach this Burnsville program, and you just need your playmakers to make plays at this point.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with Steve Bolio. Doesn't seem to panic. If you look at him, he's calm. He's giving his message to his players, and I think that rubs off on the players. Certainly they've got urgency here, but he's really done some good things with this team this year. Of course, Eichner's got credentials. He's proven his bona fides. But Steve Bolio's really done a nice job with this team, and the team has responded well.
Burnsville has only been shut out twice this season. A 1-goal game. XL Energy Center awaiting the winner on March 5th, a week from today. The Cadets last year defeated Duluth East for their first ever AA quarterfinal win, but they're looking for their first state title since 2013.
And you can't say enough about moving up from Class A to AA and not missing a beat. That's a big leap from talent, and that just shows you the power of this program.
Whitko still in his net, offensive zone draw. Soderling trying to win it for the Cadets and does. Back to the corner, can they clear it? Swept around toward Kylan. Ashan with the keep at the point. There's Nielsen, less than 2 minutes to go. Whitko will get out of his net. They pulled the goaltender. 6-on-5, Burnsville. Nielsen finds it in the corner. Burnsville's got the extra attacker. Board battle on the half wall. Killian, Kylan moves it out to the point. Good keep there. Erlob trying to press in. Killian sweeps it up. There's O'Brien, empty net, other end. O'Brien will score.
That's the risk reward of pulling your goalie. Even when you got possession, it's easy to turn it over. And nice defensive scheme by St. Thomas to get that free and get it to an open man. And it's the second nail in the coffin there. Not over yet, but people starting to leave much too early.
The 6th of the year for Connor O'Brien, the senior. Got in past the blue line and finished it off. With 1:34 to go, the Blaze down 2. Credit the Cadets. Airtight third period, facing the Burnsville pressure with a plum. Now the Blaze looking for a miracle. Across the blue line, Bell, Aiken let one dribble wide. Rauschenberger swings it out, back for Anderson. Erlob. Now across the blue line, here's Nielsen, the junior. He'll be back next year. Nielsen on to Aiken, who makes the glove save. A minute to go.
Yeah, and that, key thing not to be lost on that empty net goal. He did get it over that red line responsibly, so if he missed the net, there wouldn't be an icing. That's just, they're hitting on all cylinders. They're doing everything right.
We'll keep it right here for the section trophy ceremony. Hallam sends it off the rafters, the low-hanging ceiling here at Braemar. Burnsville so close in the second period on breakaways from Corey Bell. There's Ashan at the point, contested by Hallam, put it on net, nearly found its way in the back of the net. If they could score in the next few seconds, they'd still have life. But Erlob up top, high slot, shot blocked. The Cadets really packing it in, and again the puck finds its way on Aiken on the tip from Bell.
Again, the net is empty on the Burnsville side. Six attackers for the Blaze.
Whitko out, they win the draw. Slap shot from the point, steered away. Beaudet rims it around. It's taken by Soderling, who wants another goal, but he's fought off. O'Brien looking for his second, and he missed the net. Less than 20 seconds to go, however, and the Cadets up by 2. Soderling flings it toward the net. 10 seconds to go. Flipped on by Bell. Soderling misses, takes it to the corner. The St. Thomas Academy Cadets are off to St. Paul, their 4th straight section championship.
Boy, if they've won 4 in a row, you wouldn't know it by that celebration. That's one happy group of boys down there.
Helmets and sticks litter the ice. This team was 5-7-2, left for dead at the midway point of the season. And now look at them, headed to the state tournament. And Burnsville distraught in defeat. Unfortunately, the end of the road for so many seniors. And they absolutely exerted max effort in the 3rd period, unable to crack Aiken, who picks up his 2nd shutout in this section tournament. He didn't have any in the regular season.
You know, this team just built up over the course of the year, and the way they're playing right now, it's unfathomable to think that they were a 5 seed. You know, in Section 3A, which is AA, which is not the strongest section in the state. But boy, this journey that they've come through has been incredible.
A team not to be overlooked in the state tournament, and if you're Blake, if you're Eden Prairie, you don't want to play these guys, even if they're unseeded. That's a dangerous 1st round matchup.
I think we've got one of those state tournaments where just about anybody could win. You got to give Andover the prohibitive favorite, but still, you know, in a 1-game matchup, everybody else seems pretty even at this point.
No Edina this year. They were ousted in their section semifinal. There's Soderling with the eventual game winner. It came in the 2nd period, 4 minutes, 31 seconds in. Goaltending in this game was marvelous. And Whitko only gives up 3 goals in the entire section tournament. 1 empty netter here at the end. But Whitko was magnificent. And you can't do much blame game here. I mean, on the Burnsville side, they held an explosive offense to 1 honest goal plus the empty netter. They did their job.
Yeah, well played game. Both these teams played their hearts out and played well. And like you said, Whitko has nothing to hang his head about. He played a marvelous game. Just 1 screen shot was the difference in the game.
The empty netter sealed it for St. Thomas Academy. Connor O'Brien, his 6th of the year at the 15-26 mark. And for Connor, his 1st goal of the playoffs. He and Riley combined for 18 goals this season. Trent Eigner headed to the state tournament in his 1st year behind the St. Thomas Academy bench. It's not as winning of a team record-wise as some years past. 18 wins now, but 13 of their last 14. The section runner-up announcement and section championship trophy about to be doled out. Hugs and smiles all around for the Cadets, who continue on this winning tradition.
And what a job by Eigner. You know, the Vanellis had coached this team for so long, you imagine their systems were baked into everything they do. Trent Eigner's got to come in, he's got his own systems, and get the team playing together on that system. Looks like it took them about a half a year to do it, and after that, they're running hot.
Let's listen in to Jim Carroll for the post-game awards.
And individual medals will be awarded to Burnsville High School. Please come forward as your name is called. Bennett Boats. Grant Ashan. Anthony Friedman. Cole Pearson. Tim Erlob. Dylan Reed. Jordan Tompkins. Casey Myers. Jaden Glasson. Sam Keefe. Corey Bell. Jack Holmstrom. Joe Faith. Cade Nielsen. Sam Rohde. Joey Anderson. Zach Lamont. Joe Tucci. Derek Reed. Evan Whitco. Student Assistant Joseph Sproul. Student Assistant Mitch Drobnik. And now, with the captains from Burnsville, please come forward to accept your section runner-up trophy. Put your hands together for assistant coach Derek Dokken, Aaron Hazen, and Steve Bolio as the Burnsville Blaze finish with an overall record of 15-9-2, and on the Section 3AA are runners-up. And now the Section 3AA Championship Trophy and individual medals will be awarded to St. Thomas Academy. Please come forward to accept your medal as your name is announced. Karsten Lardy. Charlie Killian. Nick Owens. Tristan Thilmani. McLean Baudette. Connor O'Brien. Max Nagel. Tanner Brower. Tyler Graham. Tommy Deverell. Noah Rauschenberger. Tommy Statine. Will Soderling. Jackson Hallam. Jared Wright. Andrew Bamer. Josh Schurer. Riley O'Brien. Bjorn Kylan. Tommy Aitken. Student Assistant John Herzog. Student Assistant Max Carver. And now will the captains from St. Thomas Academy please come forward to accept your section championship trophy. The cadets will play their state quarterfinal tournament game on Thursday, March 5th at Xcel Energy Center. Brackets and ticket information will be announced on Saturday afternoon. On behalf of Section 3AA and the Minnesota State High School League, we appreciate your support of boys high school hockey, and also a big thank you to the staff here at Braemar Arena for their awesome hospitality. Thank you and good evening.
Cadets win it 2-0. Great scenes in these celebratory moments, John. Good sportsmanship and the emotions of the victors. You wish you could go back there, don't you?
Yeah, there's nothing better than the "we're number one" picture, and then there's nothing more real, I guess, than the other team shuffling off the ice on the other side. Hats off to a great season for the Blaze. Played well from beginning to end, had a fine showing, and what an accomplishment by the St. Thomas Academy cadets to pull it all together and blaze through the playoffs and blaze through the Blaze. You know, it seemed like for so many years the one thing stopping Burnsville from getting to the state tournament's been Edina. Now that we're not in Edina's section, we come to their rink and lose. So there's something about that, but great accomplishment for the cadets.
Some cruel irony there. Well, that's 2 section finals between these teams since they moved to AA. Both teams have a win, and we'll see what happens in the future. Maybe a best out of 3 is in order in the years to come. Burnsville will have to regroup next year with a group of fresh faces built around Cade Nielsen, presumably, and Steve Bolio will get back to the drawing board. So St. Thomas Academy advances. Soderling and O'Brien, the goal scorers. Big thanks to all who tuned in on BCTV and Town Square Media. Huge thanks to our large crew here at Braemar that put it all together. For John Mara, I'm Sam Ekstrom, signing off from the Section 3 AA Championship.